Hello and welcome back to another Makes video. March has been a crazy month. I've got loads made for myself this month. Not loads, but loads in comparison to previous months. And I've had a super busy month. Those of you that are following me on social media and YouTube will know that I've just got back from the Netherlands, where I went to the amazing Utrecht fabric market. You'll have watched my videos, you'll have come around the market with me. It was absolutely fantastic and I got such a good haul of fabric, so April's Makes video is going to be even more exciting. So I'm not sure whether you're going to see this video before my fabric haul or not. You might have already seen the fabric haul, but either way there's some really super stuff coming your way in April. So let's start by showing you what I've been making in March. So I'm currently wearing a shift dress. This shift dress is a classic pattern that I've made over and over again. I will pop a picture of it up here because I can never remember the pattern number, and I'll run the pattern number down below. I've made this lots and lots of times now, but I had a little bit of a disaster with it. So I had every intention of making the capped sleeve version of this dress. And out of sheer habit, I cut it all out, I started sewing it, I pulled the facings through and went, oh, I was going to put sleeves in this. I'd cut the sleeves, but I'd also cut the facings, sewn the facings, pulled them all through, and I was blowed if I was going to unpick all that hard work. So my sleeve dress became a sleeveless dress, which I probably, in all honesty, won't wear quite so much, but hey ho. It's made with the fabric that I bought in Walthamstow Market. So if you want to go back and look at my recent Walthamstow Market fabric haul, then you will see it there. It's a kind of tweedy, woolly kind of fabric. As with Walthamstow, you never really know exactly what it is, but it's very nice, a dusky pink with little black flecks. I'm going to try and zoom into the camera so you can see it. Hang on. There we go. Nice dusky pink with little black flecks. So overall, I'm really happy with this. It's got a concealed zip in the back. It's a classic pattern. It's never going to go out of fashion. It was a quick make. It's easy to make. I've made plenty of them in the past before, and it is the pattern that I teach in my Shift in a Day class. So I will stand up and give you a 12. Sure why I curtsied there, but hey, this is my sad face. I am so sad. I've spent £35 on fabric to make something that I don't really like. The instructions aren't bad, the fabric's great, I just don't like it. This is the Go Exploring cardi. It's another pattern by Ellie Mack. This is what I had hoped to replicate. Similar fabric has been purchased, as you can see. Again, pink scissors. But it just doesn't cut the mustard. I think A, it's too large, and B, it needs to be lined. And if you lined it, it would cost even more money. I think I can possibly salvage it and line it with some plain navy and take it in a bit, but I'll cover that in a minute once I show you what I don't like about it. So let me stand up and give you a 12 first of all. So I'm going to come in a bit so you can see. It's got these big pockets on the side. Not sure that I like those, certainly not in the stripe. It's got lovely big cuffs, which I like. They're comfy. And it's got a hood. Let me see. There you go. So you can see the hood is lined with the striping. Put it on. There you go. The hood's lined with the stripy and the outside edge is the stripy too. So it's a really lovely garment. It's a great construction. But what I don't like about it is that because it hangs off the shoulders like this, you can see the inside of the fabric and you can see all the overlocking, and I just think that looks messy. If you had a closure that kind of did it up here, then that wouldn't happen, but then it just looks like a dressing gown. So yeah, it's just me being fussy, and I know that it is too big and I do need to come down a size. I've learnt my lesson. So you could kind of look at this as a bit of a wearable toile, but it's a super expensive wearable toile, and yeah, I know I should have used cheaper fabric first, made it first, and then I could have made the tweaks with this one, but I didn't, so it's too late. But I think what I'm going to do is unpick this band that goes from the bottom all the way round here. I'm going to unpick the hood, and I'm going to make another bodice front and a bodice back in a plain navy, and I'm going to line it, then I'm going to stitch the hood and the band back on and bag it out. I'm going to have to get my head around how I'm going to do it and how much I'll need to unpick. I have a feeling if I take the arms off, I might just take the whole thing apart actually, bag out the bodice first of all, and then put the hood in and then the band and then put the arms back in. So yeah, it's going to be a faff, but I'm going to do it. It was too expensive to just put on the charity shop pile. That would just be criminal. I'm going to then take it in on the side seams a little bit more just to bring it in and make it a bit smaller. That's what I'm going to do. There you go. Not sure when I'm going to do it. I'm not really feeling particularly inspired to do it right now, if I'm entirely honest, but I have ordered some more of this fabric because I've got quite a bit left over, not enough to really do anything particularly with, and I do absolutely love it, so I'm going to make a pair of pyjamas this month because this reminds me of a dressing gown. So I might just not do anything with it and have it as a dressing gown to wear with my new pyjamas. We'll see. Watch this space, guys. So my next make is the Going Home sweater, which is by Ellie Mack. It's a PDF pattern available to download, although I did buy the A0 copy and I sent it to net printer and then traced off the size I wanted to make. Because I'd already made the Go Exploring cardigan and it had come up a little bit on the big side with an XL, I did just make an L with this one, and I'm really, really pleased that I did. It fits really nicely. Let me give you a twirl. I'm still getting used to this camera. It's really super sunny and I'm really not sure what to do with the light settings. So as you can see in the picture, which I'm going to put up here, the neckline is pulled right down over the shoulders and it looks really, really nice. Now that is what I was trying to achieve with this one, but unfortunately it hasn't worked. And I think it's because this is the wrong kind of fabric. So this is a fairly heavyweight jersey. It's not quite ponte weight, but it is double thickness. So once it's doubled up, it does come to a similar thickness as ponte. But that gives it a nice straight, but it doesn't give you enough stretch. I'm going to try and do it to pull it over your shoulders. I'm just looking in the lens, camera-y bit. It just will go there, but as soon as I move, whoop, it pings up. So that isn't going to work with this one. What I think it needs is a more knitted knit. Now I know what I mean by that. Not necessarily a sweatshirt, but a more kind of woolly knit. So something that looks like it's been knitted, but isn't knitted. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm afraid I can't explain it. There is a word for that fabric, and off the top of my head, I can't remember it. I will try and pop it down below because I know that the lovely Suzanne at Pink Scissors is looking at stocking it fairly soon. So I can go and check out her Facebook and find out what it's called. I will do that for you. It should be running along the bottom right now. But that's the kind of fabric that I need to make this super drapey but also super stretchy enough to be able to pull down over my shoulders. Overall though, I'm really pleased with this garment. The fabric is Girl Charlee and it's my cheese plant fabric. It's super soft. It's quite thin, but it isn't very breathable. So I think if I was to wear this top, I would have to wear a little cami or something underneath it. If I got too hot, I could take it off. If I got stuck in it all day and the sun came out, I would absolutely boil. I've got the grey on the cuffs and also on the waistband, as you can see, and I've done the dress version. So this is available as a top, a tunic and a dress. So I went for the full length just to see how it would look, and if I wanted to make it again, obviously I could make it shorter. Overall, it's a really lovely pattern. The instructions are super clear to follow. I made it really quickly. I cut it out in about 20 minutes and I sewed it completely on my overlocker at home one evening last week. In fact, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen my drunken Instagram stories. I managed to polish off an entire bottle of wine and sew this together, and I didn't make any mistakes. Well done me. My next make is the Tilly and the Buttons Freya top. You will have already seen this top if you've watched my Tilly and the Buttons stretch book review. It is super comfy, really lovely. Again, made in fabric from Girl Charlee, which I bought at the Knitting and Stitch show with the drapey cow collar. I've explained this before, Tilly's patterns are a dream to work with. They're super easy to sew up, they fit like a glove. There's nothing more to say other than I really like this top, and I can see there being lots more of them in my makes in the coming months. It's a perfect one if you are out shopping and you come across some fabric, it's a nice jersey and think, ooh, what can I make with that? I know, I'll make a Freya top. I do like the cow neck, I think it's nice. Obviously, you're going to need to use a nice drapey jersey to get a really nice cowl. Something thick like a ponte simply wouldn't work, but I do really love it. Again, I made this completely on my overlocker, but there is absolutely no need to. You can make all of the garments in her book just on a regular sewing machine. So there's not really a lot more to tell you. This is the Freya top, I like it, fabric's nice, done. So this one is a little bit of a hack. It is another Freya with the cow neck, but let me tell you the story. So you might remember back at the Knitting and Stitch show, I got really excited about this really lovely twinkly soft floaty jersey. I thought it would look absolutely beautiful as this. I was wrong. So I made the dress so it looks just like you can see here. Top, cowly bit, sleeves, looked great. Scooped out at the hips into a lovely pointy, floaty, twirly little skirt. But no, this fabric is super clingy. So what did it do? It stuck to all my lumps and bumps. All the bits around my tummy that I really don't like, and I really despised it. It was such a shame because actually this fabric is quite expensive and I'd spent about £30 on it, and my dream dress had turned into a bit of a disaster. So I had to hack it up. So this is what I did. I turned the dress inside out and I laid it flat on my cutting tables with the side seams coming down. I went from the underarm and I placed a ruler and I basically went and cut it straight all the way down to the bottom. So I cut off the flicky out bits, the bits that made it A-line, and ditched them. I then chopped off 6 inches at the bottom and I set that to one side. I sewed up those 2 side seams. So it was now basically a knee-length dead straight top. Then I took the 6 inches that I'd cut off at the bottom, removed a couple of inches from the end so it wasn't quite the same width as the bottom of the top, sewed it up and turned it into a folded waistband, which I then popped onto the bottom of the dress. And because it was slightly smaller, probably about 90% of the width of the top, it sucked it in a bit and held it onto my thighs. So I turned it into a jumper dress. So let me stand up and show you. So as you can see, this is the waistband here, and because I reduced the width of it, so this was quite wide, I made this narrower, it sits and it clings onto my thighs, which is great. There's then enough bag here to cover up the lumps and bumps that I don't like, and it's just made it into more of a long tunic style top. So there's an option for you. So obviously if you want to make this, you don't have to make a dress and then chop the dress up. All you want to do is take the dress pattern of the Freya, use a pencil and draw dead straight down from the underarms and take a section off the bottom. In fact, I might do a tutorial on it. Would you like that? So pleased with this, I've worn it quite a lot. People often compliment me on it, and actually when I do say that I made it, they're surprised, which is quite a nice thing. It's always nice if you can make something that looks like you've bought it from the high street. So I've got one more thing to show you. This is another Trifecta top by Kitschy Patterns. It's a really simple raglan top that I've reviewed before. It's super easy to sew. I really like it. But what I like most about it is that it is quite fitted. So it has that kind of crossover between t-shirt and sweatshirt, which I really like. The fabric is some black, it's ribbing actually. It hasn't got a lot of ping to it. It's black ribbing, and I had that in my stash, so I can't tell you where it's from unfortunately. Possibly Goldhawk Road. But the fabric on the front is really cool. It's Disney princesses, which is something I would never normally wear, but I think because it's in these pinks, blacks and greys, it doesn't look that girly. And I purchased it from Pink Scissors again. I do like Pink Scissors, can you tell? So I'll stand up and give you a twirl. Neckband, as usual, cuffs and a waistband. Means that there's no hemming involved at all with this top. It is such a fun top and it goes together really, really easily. Again, all Kitschy patterns do. I really like them. This is another staple for my wardrobe, and it's another great one to use up scraps if you have got various different bits of fabric in your stash. So I've only used the princess fabric on the front and the back. The rest of it is all just stash plain black jersey. So I know that I will make plenty more of these. It's another one, if you find a fabric that you love, you can just whip up a quick Trifecta top. This is one of the ones that we will be teaching at the studio as well. So if you are local to Essex and you want to come to a class, then we're going to be doing this one as a class. And I am thinking about possibly doing some more online stuff for those of you who live a little bit further away. And if you want to find out more about that and you want to join in, then I would suggest getting over to Facebook and joining my Facebook group. I'll put the link down below, because that's going to be where I will announce anything that I'm likely to be doing. So quite a few people on there have said they would like a kind of intro to jersey course where I hold their hand throughout the process of buying the fabrics and working with them, and show them some really good tips and tricks and things that I do to make jersey work for me. So if you're interested in something like that, go and join the Facebook group. Even if you're not, it's a really good place to be. It's good fun and there's lots of tips and people chatting and sharing what they've been making over there. So that's my makes for March. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do comment below, let me have your thoughts and your feedback. I always like having a chat with you. I try and respond to all my comments if I can, even if it's just with a little like and a thumbs up. I do really, really appreciate them, and I want you to feel just as loved as I feel when you give me a comment on my videos. Remember to give the video a thumbs up. There's been a lot of thumbs down recently, and I think to myself, why are you watching? If you don't like it, go elsewhere. But anyway, positive thumbs up please, and remember to subscribe if you don't already. I post every Wednesday and every Saturday, and there is always a monthly makes video for you to enjoy. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.